We got Mizzou versus Ohio State. Missouri could have their first 11-win season in nearly a decade. This has to be college football's most surprising team this year. Eli Drinkwitz. I thought this dude was a mid-head coach going into this year, but this dude proved me wrong. And you're going up against Ohio State team that they don't really have a lot of big opt-outs. We still don't know what JTT is going to do. Travion Henderson, he might not play in this game, or Marvin Harrison Jr. But even if these dudes do play, Missouri still is going to have a good enough team that they're going to be able to have a shot at winning this thing. This is a veteran team. You know, they don't really turn the ball over a lot. They don't get penalized all that often. And they have a fantastic coaching staff. Probably the most underrated coaching staff in America. You just can't have a 10-win season in the SEC being poorly or mid-league coached. Ryan Day, you know, this is a big game for him. I don't care if it's a bowl game, and I don't care about the whole bowl momentum thing. You know, the Big Ten is going to be challenging next year. You got Washington, Oregon, and USC rolling in there, and this dude can't even beat Michigan in the last 3 years. And he's had the luxury of playing in a conference that only has two other good teams to go up against. That is Michigan and Penn State. Everybody else you just can out-roster. What are you going to do now against top-level competition every single season? And Missouri is a top-level team. You know, like, if they lose this game, you know, I'm going to be a little bit concerned about Ryan Day. I am. This is a Missouri team that they have a fantastic offense. When it comes to being balanced and being efficient, Brady Cook has 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He also has been a really big threat on the ground. And they got a fantastic running back too, Cody Schrader. This dude shredded Georgia. This dude is a one-man wrecking crew. And against Ohio State's defense, they've been pretty formidable against the run this year. Michigan had a little bit of success against them, but if you really watch that game, Ohio State's defense, they probably played Michigan's run game better than anybody else this season. Missouri, with how good Cody Schrader is, I think that Ohio State defense, they're probably going to bend a little bit. And they haven't seen a quarterback that has the kind of dual threat ability that Brady Cook has. J.J. McCarthy, I wouldn't really call him much of a dual threat. He's more of just a good pro-style passer. Now, who the hell is this dude, Devin Brown, starting at quarterback for Ohio State? Please tell me that they're not going to have that dude out there wearing 33 in this game. I hope they give this dude an actual number and don't let him go into this matchup against 33, because how can I take you serious at quarterback wearing number 33? And we haven't seen this dude throw a pass in a matchup since, October? Now, they do have some pretty good receivers playing in this game. Julian Fleming transferred out, but Emeka Egbuka, he's not opting out. Even without MSJ, you have a lot of depth at that position, although it may be a little unproven. Missouri's defense is pretty good, but I don't think their defense is just going to completely shut down this offense with how well they develop at the wide receiver position. As a matter of fact, you remember a couple of years ago, in one of those Rose Bowl matchups against Utah, JSN, you know, he made a name for himself in that game. This is a chance where we're going to see who's going to be the next upcoming star at receiver for Ohio State if MHJ leaves and when Emeka Egbuka leaves for the draft. Defensively, for Missouri, you might have a little bit of a tough time if you're not able to stop Devin Brown if this dude actually is good. Now, when it comes to their run game, they're really thin at that position. Chip Trayanum, their RB2, he ended up transferring. You got Travion Henderson, who possibly is opting out in this game. So we don't even know if he's going to play. And if he doesn't, I don't know how much success they're going to have on the ground. And if this Devin Brown dude isn't good, you could possibly have a game where this maybe turns into a blowout. And I'm going with Mizzou to win this matchup. I don't really trust Ohio State's quarterback situation. There's a reason why they're in the transfer portal right now. Honda McCord, he wasn't that great, but I don't think he was bad. It's just a high level of expectation when it comes to playing QB at Ohio State. When you look at their last two runs of quarterbacks, Justin Fields, CJ Stroud, both starters in the league. Missouri, they got a veteran team, and offensively, they just look more dependable than what Ohio State has out there in Devin Brown. I don't trust Devin Brown in this game, and Missouri is one of those teams that you're not going to beat them if you don't have decent quarterback play. Okay, this just isn't one of those SEC teams that, they're just a good story and they're not really good. Like, if you really check into Missouri football, these dudes bringing in a really good recruiting class. They got one of the best recruits coming out of high school. Like, they got their NIL collective. You got Luther Burden. Like, this program under Eli Drinkwitz during the rise. All right. I wouldn't be surprised if Missouri would to blow out Ohio State, depending on how bad this Devin Brown dude is. Now, if he can play, then this could be a close game. I still like Missouri. Offensively, they just look a little bit more talented, and I just trust them a little bit more in this game. Ohio State's offense hasn't really been that dynamic this season anyway. Okay, in Missouri, they were really formidable against Georgia. This is probably the only team in the SEC during the regular season that was actually able to give Georgia somewhat of a game. And it was a respectable one at that. They beat Kansas State earlier this season. This is a really good team. This wouldn't be surprising if they won this game. Missouri's on the rise, people. I got them winning 34-20 is my final score prediction.